Hello, today we're going to be unpacking a group of preterite verbs that we call stem changers, and specifically these are not boot verb stem changers, but sandal stem changers. I'm going to keep the notes brief, and I want to encourage you to pause whenever you need to write something down. Ready? All right, here we go. Let's start with our big idea, la idea grande. In the present tense, we have some verbs that are called boot verb stem changers, meaning that there's a spelling change that impacts the yo form, the to form, the el, ella, and the ellos, ellas forms, which makes the shape of a boot, right? But in the preterite, the stem changers that we see are going to be just in the bottom two forms, the el, ella, usted, and ellos, ellas, ustedes. And if we're comparing this to a foot, it is not filling up a boot, it's just a sandal, right? Just on the bottom of the foot. All right, so let's take a look at what verbs are in this group. We have morir, which means to die, and it's an O to U sandal verb. Then we have dormir, which means to sleep, which is an O to U sandal verb. We have medir, which means to measure. It's an E to I. Mentir, to lie, is E to I. Pedir, to ask for, is E to I. Preferir, to prefer, is E to I. Sentirse, to feel, is E to I. And vestirse, to get dressed, is also an E to I. Now, all of those verbs, if you look at them, are all IR verbs. And since stem changer means that it's only the stem that's irregular, the endings are the same. That means these will all have regular IR endings. So iste, io, imos, istes, and ieron. Okay. A few details before we practice here. Only the third person forms are affected. So it's only él, ella, usted, ellos, ellas, and ustedes that will have the O change to a U or the E change to an I. If you want a fun trick to remember how morir and dormir are the two O to U stem changers, think about your eyes on your face. Normally, if they're open, they look like the letter O. But if you morir or dormir, your eyes will close and look like the letter U. There are more E to I verbs. It would include advertir, sugerir, repetir, seguir, conseguir, competir, servir, teñir, reñir, impedir, and concebir. All right, go ahead and find your practice set. Can you figure out how you would do the yo form of mentir, the to form of repetir, the el form of dormir, the ella form of competir, the usted form of servir? How would you say I slept? You all suggested. He warned. You got dressed. Or she measured. All right, go ahead and check your answers. We should have menti with an accent. M-E-N-T-I, that is not in the sandal. Repetiste, also not in the sandal. So R-E-P-E. But durmió, he slept, that's in the sandal. So D-U-R-M-I-O with an accent. She competed, that is in the sandal. Compitió, C-O-M-P-I-T-I-O with an accent. Usted sirvió, that is in the sandal. So S-I-R-V-I-O with an accent. I slept, not in the sandal. So it's normal, dormí. You all suggested, that's in the sandal. So sugirieron, S-U-G-I-R-I-E-R-O-N. He warned, advirtieron, that is in the sandal. So it needs the I. So A-D-V-I-R-T-I-E-R-O-N. And you got dressed. That's not in the sandal. So it's normal. Te vestiste. And she measured is in the sandal. So that E changes to an I. Midió.